Hello, good evening, everyone. Who is there with me? Starting our series of live sessions. How is everyone? Jasilda has arrived. Hello, Jasilda. How are you? Hey, everyone. Good evening. Rose. Cynthia is around. Denise. Eliette is around too. Adriano. Kisses, everyone. Good evening, Perez. Hello, Aline. Jesuina is also around. Andrea. Hey, everyone. How are you? Another class today? I'm here. Look, next to me. It's full of whipped cream. Today, a top class that I need to tell you about. Let's say it like this, right? Clear up the doubts about which type of whipped cream is best for you to work with. And I'm here with tons, folks. I think I did all the shopping. I had to buy online because I couldn't find them in markets and stores. And then they all arrived here, and today I'm going to talk a little about, well, whipped creams for you, which is very important. It's everything we need, that we're there, right, striving to clear up your doubts about which are the best whipped creams on the market, which are the most used, and what we can do to improve this whipped cream even more. Okay? Because it's our daily life as confectioners, right? It's our livelihood. Let's put it that way. It's our livelihood, right? Because there are confectioners who, in fact, I think 99% of confectioners work with whipped cream, right, folks? They work with whipped cream because very few work with fondant, marble glaze, other types of coatings, right? Ganache, not everyone works with them. But whipped cream, let me tell you something. Are you part of the whipped cream group? Comment below. And for those of you who are just joining, we already have some news, okay? Today you have to comment the word cake, right? To join our VIP group, because there's news, and we're about to have another amazing class which will be about thermal whipped cream. In fact, it's a very controversial topic, and today we're going to talk about it too. Oh, controversial topic, my goodness. When you talk about whipped cream, it becomes controversial. It's funny, isn't it? Tika is around. Chocolate Choco Adriano. Yes, Adriano mentioned cake. Pedro, are you around? Sonia Souza. And today I want to show you first. And we're going to talk a little about which are the best whipped creams, right? That you can find on the market. Let me just lower the air conditioning a bit. It's hot here today. Today is extremely hot. And where I live is very hot, so we have to protect ourselves. Well, let's go, right? I think I did a poll on my stories asking you which whipped creams you use, so I could get a sense of which whipped creams are most used by bakers. And we came right to a conclusion. We had a lot of votes, many people saying which whipped creams they use. And the one with the most votes, right, was the Amelia Chantilly mix. This one here is the most used right throughout all of Brazil, folks, because look, when I conduct a poll or something, all my followers, we have millions of followers, right, folks? So these are people spread across Brazil. And then the poll showed that the most used Chantilly by all these women, since the majority of my followers are women, but there are men too, but the majority agreed that it's this Amelia Chantilly or one or the other, I don't know. It wasn't specified whether it was the Supreme or the mix, but it's the most used by everyone. And I was even like, it wasn't a surprise to me, because we already know that it's the one most available on the supermarket shelves, including in actual supermarkets. Supermarkets, the kind where you buy rice and beans, right? That's where you find this one here, especially this one, look, rice and beans. That's where you find it. So folks, if it's visible, if it's easily accessible, if you're used to it, it's there. If you're looking for it, sometimes you didn't find it in the store or didn't have time to get it from the store at night, you run to the supermarket and you'll find it. So it's the most used by all the confectioners in Brazil. And at least 47% of 1800, yes, the vote we had, the most used was from this brand here, okay? From Amelia. But I was surprised because there are other brands in the market too. And today I'm going to explain to you what an entry-level whipped cream and a high-definition whipped cream are, because this is very important. If you're here, start typing the word cake to join our VIP WhatsApp group, because our big thermal whipped cream class is coming up. In fact, I need to talk about this, about whipped creams, because it's through whipped cream that you will transform it into a thermal whipped cream, a much better whipped cream. And why am I doing this? Because I'm already tired of going to the market, going to the store, and sometimes, now it's okay. I already know which whipped cream to buy. But for a long time, after so many brands of whipped cream started appearing on the market, that you would think like this. I would think like this. Oh my, which whipped cream should I buy? Is this one good? Is this one not? Is this one the best? And how many times did I waste money for nothing because I would buy a whipped cream thinking it was good, get here, and the whipped cream wouldn't whip at all, wouldn't whip at all, wouldn't whip at all. It wouldn't hold, it would stay soft, right? It would get firm, then suddenly foamy, it seemed. If you blew on it, it looked like it would fly away. Has this ever happened to you guys? Have you ever bought foamy whipped cream, foamy light? You go, it gets hard, even porous. Then you start trying to make it velvety and it falls apart. Has this ever happened to you? If it has, let me know, because we're here today to clear up any doubts about that. And it's precisely because of so much difficulty, because so many have appeared. Look, guys, in these 10 years that I've been on social media, the biggest difficulty by far, the one you ask me about the most, is about which is the best whipped cream. How to get the right consistency in whipped cream. If it becomes porous, what needs to be done? Yes, regarding whipped cream in Brazil, right? All our Brazilian pastry chefs, it's almost unanimous. They work with whipped cream. So that's why there are so many brands on the market, and today we're going to demystify a little bit about these brands by discussing which whipped cream is good, which is the top one, right? Less top, the entry-level whipped cream, right? Because all brands always have at least 2 to 3 types of whipped cream, at least 2, which is the entry-level whipped cream that you use for anything like filling, topping, not so professional. And then there's the professional line, which is the best line, right? All brands have this. And what I want you to understand is that the price of whipped cream today is also quite high, right? The price is high on average. Among the many whipped creams I've bought here, which I will show you have varieties, I have whipped cream ranging from 20 to 35, 40 reais, okay? Even more expensive, if you search on the internet, there are whipped creams that are even more expensive. I'm not going to mention the price of all of them here because I don't even remember, okay? But on average, look, an average of 25 reais for whipped creams, that's the average, okay? But is there cheaper whipped cream? Yes, there is. But honestly, be very careful with that because it rarely works out. The cheapest isn't always the best, right? In fact, it isn't. So and sometimes the more expensive one isn't the best either. So you have to be careful and have these agreements in mind. What I want to explain to you is that for those who join our VIP WhatsApp group by entering the word cake, you need to enter the word cake here. And there, in this thermal whipped cream class, I want to show you that you can use any brand of whipped cream, even if it's the worst whipped cream, the most porous, the bad whipped cream, the softest. You can transform it into thermal whipped cream, a high definition whipped cream, with which you can make flowers normally. And it will be so smooth that you won't even need to velvet it. It will already come out velvety from your mixer. So it's such a good whipped cream, folks, that I'm here doing a test. Today I've already tested 4 brands of whipped cream here, okay? The thermal whipped cream is made from regular whipped cream, yeah, okay? So and now we have the thermal whipped cream 2.0, because I'm bringing you all types of whipped cream brands that you can transform into thermal whipped cream to make it more with much better definition. And I am going to show you step by step, I'm going to prove step by step that it really works and that you will really like the results. So comment here, just type the word cake, okay? I'll send you a link and you can join the VIP WhatsApp group, and later on I'll talk about the thermal whipped cream class. For now, stay in the group, okay? As I'll be explaining things to you. Our class today, for those who are just joining, is about whipped creams. So I'm here explaining that each company has at least 2 types of whipped cream. The basic one, which is for making, anything. And the high definition or more professional whipped cream for working with cake decorations, smoother to make the rose more perfect to make flowers, and so on. And how are you going to find out about this? I always joke that you have to be very careful when you buy whipped cream. Look at the packaging to see if there isn't a container with a little strawberry, a bit of whipped cream and some strawberries on top, or just a regular cake without frosting, only with strawberries on top. Be very careful. Yes, be very careful. I think the whipped cream factories, the company said this woman is, oh my God. Folks, these types of whipped cream, which have a little container with a strawberry on the side, are not high definition whipped cream. Here it says that you can cover, better performance, creamier, spreads, blah, blah. But you know, for a pastry chef out there, to buy a good whipped cream so it doesn't give you a headache, right? Until now, you had a headache. From now on, you won't have it anymore, because even this whipped cream with a little strawberry here, you will be able to transform it into thermal whipped cream. What do you have to do if you don't want to have such a headache? Because even to make thermal whipped cream, if you get a whipped cream of even better, your thermal whipped cream will be much better, okay? I can perfectly transform this whipped cream with a little strawberry into thermal whipped cream. And how does it turn out? It looks like whipped cream, like imported whipped cream, those with very high definition, right? And look, it turns out wonderful. And I'm going to prove it to you. How should I buy the whipped cream for now, Leo? You haven't attended yet. Yeah, the big class hasn't happened. And now we're going to have the big class 2.0, where the whipped cream is reformulated, the reformulated thermal whipped cream class, and I'm going to give you all the unmissable tips. Just type the word cake here. I see few people typing. Dalva typed cake. Who else, folks? Type cake there. Type cake. Because then you'll receive a link in your direct messages. You click on this link and join the VIP WhatsApp group. That's right, Valdinete. Type cake there, that's it. Then you go and click help. That's it. That's it, folks. Keep typing the word cake, okay? So what I want you to understand is that let's talk a little about brands today. Amelia has, it's falling here, folks. Hold on. It's because I have the whipped creams here. There's only the box because I've already used it. and I didn't want to throw the box away to show you the brands. I bought so much whipped cream, folks. Only whipped cream arrives at my house now. When the doorbell rings, you can run over because there's a box of whipped cream arriving, but from all sorts of brands. So I had to research and look everywhere because it's hard to find here in my city. There isn't any, right? Not even in Rio Preto. You go there, you find one or another from one brand or another, but from so many that I bought, I can't find. So somewhere, after I show them here, you'll tell me if you use any of these whipped creams that I'm showing here, okay? So look, the first tip I give you, if you don't want to have a lot of headaches for now, because our big class hasn't happened yet. Are you going to buy whipped cream? Be careful. If there's a little strawberry or a small cake or a small pot, you want a little whipped cream with strawberry on the side. It's not specifying that it's a professional, high-performance, high-definition one. Different from this one here of the same brand that has a decorated cake. See? There are some decorations with a piping tip here, look. This one is already the best of this line here. Oh, okay? The Amelia line. For now, today, the best of it is this one here, Amelia Supreme. In fact, it's the one I use a lot here, okay? This one here, as I told you, won by a landslide, right? 47% of all the votes. Pastry chefs from Brazil are the ones who use it the most, okay? Then what surprised me a lot was a brand, which is a brand that used to be very much about whipped cream, more imported whipped cream. Expensive, by the way, but very good, very tasty, but a little out of our financial concept. Because many people say, Leo, doesn't it depend on the whipped cream? It doesn't work. I won't buy it because it ends up being too expensive. But let's go. The Rix of Brazil. Rix of Brazil, right, this one is the American top. A good professional line, vegetable cream like whipped cream, it even freezes, right? It has to be kept in the refrigerator. And there's this better cream with cream flavor. And what surprised me is that Rix of Brazil launched several other entry-level whipped cream brands. Why? Because this one is more expensive. Professional? Yes, professional. Does it yield a lot? It does. Does it have good stability? It does. But with thermal whipped cream, it's better. I will test it, okay? Rix launched several other types of entry-level whipped cream. And I want to show you today, I can't pronounce the name very well, okay? A name in English. I don't know why. Oh, there's this one here, Pastry Pride, which I think is how you say it. Easy Chantilly. Yes, for fillings and toppings. Oh, blessed little strawberry. A little pot, right, of whipped cream down here. There's not even a cake, just a little strawberry. So it already gives a little headache, a little twinge. My God, is this one good? You know that doubt when you get to the market, you glance at the shelf and say, is it good? Look, when in doubt, pick the best one, okay? Let's go. Look for one. That has a decorated cake on the front. Then they also launched C'est Bon Chantilly Original. There's even a little cake with some decorated with some strawberries on top and some decoration with a piping tip. I'm in doubt. I haven't tested this one yet. I tested this one. Also the same, also still from Rix do Brasil, folks. That's why I'm saying I'm impressed that Rix do Brasil launched, well, a bunch of entry-level Chantilly. This one is saying it's plus, right? That it's the Chantilly, maybe their best one, and so on. Well, this one I tested it today. And I will even in the coming days later on, you'll see the tests I did, which I will be sending to you in the stories, okay? Not in the stories, in the reels. So for those who are just joining and haven't written the word cake yet, put it there for us so you can join the VIP group to learn the Thermal Chantilly 2.0. Why did I test this Chantilly, this bowl? Because it's selling well and I wanted to improve it. Why? I went to whip it. Oh, Jesus, there's no one from Rick's here, right? I whipped, I'm testing all of them, huh? All these chantillies you saw here, I'm going to test them all. I found that if you whip it too much, it's too porous, but porous. I'll show you a cake I made with it. If you whip it too little, it's soft. What do we do? What do we do? We make thermal chantilly with it. I made my thermal chantilly with it. It turned out sensational. I'll show you the cake I made with this chantilly here. I made two, right? Yeah, to do a test. So Rick's from Brazil has a lot, okay? There's this one, there's the better, there's this fast fried here, which I'm testing. I haven't tested this one yet. It's their original. There's the better nata, which is very good, okay? I'm going to make it. I tested this one today. And here's the thing, like I said, if you beat it too much, it becomes too porous, right? If you beat it too little, it becomes soft. So how do we fix something like this? Fix what? Then we have to invent, right? Make a creation, create, like I created the thermal whipped cream for you to use with any whipped cream, any. It's a formula that you can use for any whipped cream. It can be good, it can be bad. Whatever it is, it will work. I want to show you here now. I did this test here and put my cake in the sun for 30 minutes at 38 degrees because it was hot here today. Hot. Imagine a hot day, okay? And I'm going to show you first the whipped cream. This whipped cream here, beaten, pure, without anything, without velveting, okay? I whipped it to the maximum point to get it to the point we like, which is a firm point, but I didn't velvet it. Because when you make it with this whipped cream, any whipped cream, when you make thermal whipped cream, you don't even need to velvet it. It comes out perfect from the mixer at the exact point. So I wanted to whip this one too. Oh, and I have here, guys, it went out in the sun, okay? It stayed in the sun and you will see the porosity it has. I will try to turn it over because this cake, look how ugly it looks like this. It's already very deformed because it stayed in the sun, because I actually put it in the sun as I wanted to know. Full of porosity, right? And here, if I touch it, it is a foam, look. If I touch it, it falls apart, look. Because it is a foam, it is very foamy, very, very foamy. Okay, so I whipped it, decorated my cake, and put it in the sun to see if it would hold up. It was already starting to melt, but that's okay, right? No one is obliged to withstand a 37-degree sun. However, very foamy and very porous. And if I whip it less, so it doesn't become so porous, it turns out soft. So I had this difficulty with this whipped cream here today. So if the company wants to contact me, explain. But there's no time. There's nothing to say. What I want to say is that I transformed this here into my thermal whipped cream, and now I'm going to show how the thermal whipped cream turned out. It was also in the sun, just the same, for half an hour. Look at the difference, folks. It was in the sun, huh? Look, this same whipped cream here. Thermal whipped cream. Look at the difference in movement, saying, see? Smooth. Perfect. Right? It was also in the sun for 30 minutes as I left it. That's how I do my tests. So I whipped it normally and it turned out the way you saw there. Now I transformed it into thermal whipped cream, left it in the sun, and it turned out like this. Now let's test if it's porous. Oh folks, look at this. Look at this. I made it today, see? Thermal whipped cream, right? It is heat resistant. Look at this. After a while, it creates a protective layer. So this is the same, Sesebon from Hicks. But I transformed it into thermal whipped cream. Want to know how? Type the word cake. Here. I hear. Carol is asking to show the other one again. Show it, Carol. Look. Yeah, just by touching it, Carol. This here is the pure whipped cream from Sesebon, okay? Look. See how it's very porous? Look. The movements don't look good, right? It's very porous. And just by putting your hand here, look, look. It's coming off, see? Look, it's very porous. My hand is already blue from handling it so much. Look at the side, the porosity of the cake, guys, look. Very porous. I turned it into thermal whipped cream. This very one here, the same. And look, at the side of my cake, look, smooth, smooth. Look at how the movement turned out after half an hour in the sun, 37 degrees. Look at this. Now put your hand on top to see if it's coming off. Look. Some people say it's a lie. What can I do, folks? I think I'll bring you all to my house. I'll bring you all to my house. This here is thermal whipped cream. Leo, how do I learn to make thermal whipped cream? Share the recipe. I won't share it because I'll talk about it in the big class. But I already know. Many people are saying it's already on the internet. It's made with gelatin. It doesn't use gelatin. So it doesn't have emulsifier. It doesn't have emulsifier. Folks, those recipes on the internet are not my thermal whipped cream. This one here, I developed it. Okay? So it's not on the internet unless someone took my recipe and posted it. But if it has gelatin, it's not mine. If it has emulsifier, it's not mine. Because it doesn't use gelatin, it doesn't use emulsifier, it doesn't use chocolate. All right? So it's not my thermal whipped cream. Want to learn? Type the word cake. And I'll send the link to you in your direct messages. Click on the link, join the VIP group, and soon you'll know how to make this whipped cream. And it's the same cake. It's the same whipped cream. And the difference is impressive. Look, it's already all deformed from me poking it so much, right? It's impressive. This here is the pure whipped cream. This one, pure whipped and decorated. And this is the same whipped cream. Oops. I'm already poking it with my thumb. It's the same whipped cream, just transformed into the thermal one. Leo, so why don't they make it thermal? Oh, I don't know. I just know that I have the formula, look, and I want to share it with you. But that's not all. Let's go. I have others here to show you. Poking it too, it's like this, guys, see? Many people say, wow, it's hard, so you can't eat it. Yes, you can. It's hard, but it's soft. Look. Look. Is it good? Then it looks nice. It's heat resistant. Well, I talked about Amelia. I'm talking here about Hicks from Brazil. And I was surprised by this line from Hicks here because there's a lot. I also made it with this one. Look. Where's the Pastel Pride? Here. Let me see which one it was. Yes, I made the Pastel Pride. Where is it, guys? It's gone. I did the same with this one. I transformed it. I already dismantled it. I also transformed the cake. I already took it apart, guys. I only recorded today. Today, I spent the day recording. I already transformed this one into thermal whipped cream, and believe it or not, it turned out wonderful. This one, when whipped, just whipped and used, becomes like that one over there, foamy. If you blow on it, it looks like foam. If you whip it too little, it stays soft. I transformed it into thermal whipped cream. It turned out incredible. I'm going to show you. Stay tuned because it will be on the reels, okay? Now there's another whipped cream here. Let me see what this one is, guys. Hold on, where is this from? This one is from Ciara. Has anyone heard of this Rika? I haven't tested it yet, okay? In the next live sessions, I'll be testing it and then I'll let you know. The first one I did here was this one from Pastel Prime here. Pride. I don't even know how to say it. This one I've already done. Sesebon. This little yellow one here I've already done, which is also from Hicks. And there are two others here that I'll show you that I've also done. This one I haven't done yet. Has anyone used this one from Rika? Because I'm going to use it, I'm going to beat it pure and also transform it into thermal whipped cream and show it to you. Peixoto, Nusa said she has already used it. It's not whipped cream ganache, Elisette. My thermal whipped cream is not ganache. It doesn't contain gelatin and it doesn't contain emulsifier. If you see the name thermal whipped cream on the internet and it contains gelatin, chocolate, or emulsifier, it's not. Okay? Let's go. Tried it and didn't like it. Okay, tutti from, right? That's what they're saying. Well, I haven't tested it yet. I'll do it and then I'll let you know. Look at what I've already tested and used and didn't like, folks, because I also found it very, very, very porous and soft. And if you beat it too much, it becomes porous. If you beat it too little, it becomes soft. And what do we do? Oh my God. Make thermal whipped cream. This one from Fleischmann. Remember? Cake with little strawberries on top, so it's not a high definition whipped cream. Okay? Here is a traditional whipped cream. They even label it as topping, filling, and decoration. But, okay? Now there's this one from them here, which is the premium. This one is a bit better, right? Because it has a little flower here, right? This one here too, look. I've used this one. Let me see which one I've used. The grand finale, I've used these two. Guys, here I have their definition right here, look. The color, right? The color is very good. And this one here becomes very, very, very porous as well. Well, it was beaten too much porous, beaten too little soft. However, when I turned them into thermal whipped cream, it was incredible, sensational. Leo, you're saying that because it's your whipped cream. It's not, guys. You will learn to do this with any type of whipped cream. Why did I want to bring this to you? Because, well, it's not, if I tell you that this one is the best, oh, I like this one, whatever, and you don't have it there. And then I need to see the reality of all the pastry chefs, right? If you don't have it, isn't that true? So that's why I'm bringing all types of whipped cream to you, and I will test all of them with the thermal whipped cream. And so far, I've already tested 5 that I'm showing here from Fleischmann, and I've already tested these 2. It was perfect with the thermal whipped cream. I didn't like it, okay? I've already tested the one from Cessibon, which is this one here too. And this one from Pasteur Pride here. This one, and all of them, very porous, very soft if not whipped properly. And because you see the companies say you can't whip it too much, you have to whip it at medium speed, so it incorporates as little air as possible. It gets soft, people. It gets soft. Then you go and whip it too much, whip it until it reaches a firmer point, which is what we want to see, firmness in the whipped cream, right? It becomes porous, so it doesn't reach a context. And the context, and the solution, is to make thermal whipped cream, which is impressive. It becomes a wonderful whipped cream like this one here, look. Look at this cake, there's nothing, look. This here is styrofoam, okay people? This cake here, look, is styrofoam. So when I apply the whipped cream on the styrofoam, it does, well, it cracks because it's styrofoam, okay? But look there, look how beautiful, look at the decoration. And then I have the air conditioning on. When it catches a bit of the air conditioning up here, it dries quickly, right? It dries very quickly, look, okay? I made this one today as well, okay? Look, it's already dry. Yeah, but because it's on styrofoam, it dries much faster. But the thermal whipped cream, folks, doesn't need to stay out, put it in the fridge. It stays super firm in the fridge. When you take it out to deliver to the client, when you have an order, it will remain firm. It won't crack in the fridge. It will stay perfect because you have a cake with moisture. You understand? When you put the thermal whipped cream on top of a cake that has moisture, that you've moistened, that's nice and tasty. With a nice filling, the whipped cream doesn't crack. It's different from putting whipped cream on a styrofoam cake. The styrofoam cake doesn't have moisture, so it starts to dry out and it really begins to crack, okay? By tomorrow, this here will already be all cracked because it's styrofoam, okay? Well, speaking of this one here, now I have, let me see what else I have here to show you. I have this one too, I haven't yet. I already tested it at another time. It's very good. This one is high definition. This one here, folks, let me tell you the name. Master Martini. They also have various whipped creams. They have the entry-level one, which is the whipped cream that's maybe the cheapest, the whipped cream for you to use for anything. And then they have two more categories, if I'm not mistaken. I think this one is their top category, which is the professional one. Let me read here. Wow, today my throat is bad. It's the Deluxe. And it must be the most professional because it has a well-crafted, well-decorated tiered cake, right? Even so, all these whipped creams, to make sure I don't lose them, to avoid any risk, I turn them into thermal whipped cream. And that's what I tell you. Want to learn? Type the word cake here. I will send you a link in your direct messages and you will join the VIP group. There we will explain how the big class will be, where I will transform your life by showing you how to make and how to turn any brand of whipped cream into thermal whipped cream so you don't lose anything, no losses, okay? And I even went after powdered whipped cream. This one I haven't tested yet, which I know I've made before, but I will also turn it into thermal whipped cream. Will it turn out well? I don't know, because this is new to me in terms of thermal whipped cream. I haven't done it yet, but I want to. What is the definition of thermal whipped cream? It is a super satin-like whipped cream. And when you make it, it's rare to find satin-like whipped cream. It's only the imported, more expensive whipped creams that achieve this texture, to give you that satin-like texture, which looks very beautiful, super smooth, and so on, right? So that's the function of the whipped cream, to transform regular whipped cream into thermal whipped cream to give you weight. Including weight, let's talk about weight. When you whip a very porous, very light, very foamy whipped cream, it has no weight at all. You put it on your cake and it causes panic because that thing is just foam. Have you ever experienced that? That's what I do. Transform this foamy whipped cream, this whipped cream that looks like a snowflake, which doesn't look good or becomes porous. When you decorate, I don't know, into a high definition whipped cream. So that's what I do. For you, to make your whipped cream better, right? And that's it, folks. Type the word here, cake. Join the VIP WhatsApp group, and I will explain to you how to make your cakes have a wonderful texture. This one here is also styrofoam, because of course I put my thermal whipped cream on the styrofoam. And soon, there's a little bug here. Soon it will start cracking too, because it's styrofoam, right? Styrofoam ends up cracking, okay? But look how beautiful it is. It's shiny. You can apply, yes, dye. You can use an airbrush, work with a piping tip. Do whatever you want. Look how beautiful, right? These cakes are beautiful, aren't they? And after a while, whether in the fridge or out of the fridge, it will become firm too. Okay? So it depends on how you are working with it. For those who take the class, with me, I explain exactly how you should do it so that it becomes firm as well. I haven't brought the flowers yet, okay? Next week, I will work with flowers live here with you. I will show you the flowers here, how to make them, and to make them really firm. What you need to do with the thermal whipped cream, okay? So type the word cake to join the group and stay tuned to our reels, stories, and the VIP WhatsApp group, as we will be sending a lot of information to you. I will fill you with information here so you can work with whipped cream now and not have any more problems. Okay? Guys, look, Vera is typing cake. Thank you, Sandra. Today we started our new big class, which will soon take place, and it will be about thermal whipped cream. And for those who don't know, it's whipped cream 2.0. Why 2.0, Leo? I changed the formula it got even better. I'm just improving, folks, just improving. What was good is getting much better each time, okay? So that you won't have any more problems. As we develop, like I developed this whipped cream, we learn from whom? From you as well, right? So we keep listening, understanding, seeing what works best, and just keep improving every day. So if there's someone who already attended the previous big class, join this one because there's only new stuff, okay? And here I'm wrapping up my live today. Already inviting you to join our VIP group with the word cake. Later you'll see several of my reels out there. If you haven't joined the group, you should join. If you've already joined, there's no need to keep joining multiple groups. And for those of you who joined here and haven't heard, thermal whipped cream doesn't contain gelatin, doesn't contain a drying agent, doesn't contain chocolate. So you don't go saying, oh Leo, I've already seen this recipe of yours on the internet. I've seen it on Google. I've seen it on YouTube. You haven't because I haven't shared it. And you haven't seen it because it doesn't contain gelatin. Okay? Guys, I want to thank you. I will be back on Monday with a series of live sessions. Then I will do live sessions several times a week to share all the information with you. Type the word cake. To join the VIP group, go ahead. If you haven't joined yet, there's still time, okay? Type the word cake and join there. Yeah, you don't need to join another one, okay, Elite? No need. If you've joined one, don't join another one. No need. Otherwise, it will fill up your message box. And that's not good, okay? Join just one, and that's great. Stay there and we will be talking with you. That's right, Sandro is typing cake. Thank you very much. Then go to your direct messages. Whoever typed the word cake, go to the direct messages. Click on the link I'm sending and stay in the VIP group, everyone. Don't leave. Because soon you will see all the information that I will share with you there. A kiss to Eliette, a kiss to everyone, Sandra, Naida, everyone who's there, a big kiss. Bella Vista Space, a kiss to you too, typing the word cake, Jane. Who else is there, folks? Let me see. Thank you very much for staying here with me for these few minutes. But on Monday, the live will be much longer because there will be tips, recipes, and lots of good stuff here, okay? A big kiss and see you next week, God willing. Bye, everyone. Bye. Now I'm going to rest a little. I've worked a lot today. Kiss.